Wow, that's saturation. It's almost Disney-esque. Is that the Borg Queen from Star Trek Next Generation?
Was that good for you?
No, it's not her. That really is interesting choice of saturation. Is that a callback to like older color films or something? Look, White Phillip.
I'm special.
Yeah, she's special, all right.
A star!
A serial killer.
What are you doing in here, Mr. Goose?
Uh-oh. Trying to upstage the queen. I like that Mia Goth had a hand in writing this film, too.
Vader!
She could really tailor it to this character that she's playing. Is that like a painted backdrop? Did they film this with regular film or is this digital? Oh, I'm not noticing any green. Interesting choice of colors too. Very dominant blues. Looks like they didn't use a, what do you call, cinematic lens? At least in this scene. She nailed that stern look. The mother's nailing that stern look perfectly. Muted colors when she's inside, but just hot colors when she's outside. Handheld camera there. You get dances where you can, I guess, when you're out in the country. Oh, she's got some loving on her mind. And that score, oh my gosh. It seems so 50s too. Like 1950s, 1940s color, Technicolor.
I'm married!
Yeah, like that matters. Like that matters to you, madam. Gotta get the action where you can. She's going to town on that skeleton. On that scarecrow.
When you're finished, your father needs change.
First time I watched this, I never picked up on the whole influenza thing.
There's no room for even the tiniest lack of precision in a troop like that.
Sure, as you do, you just take a bath in front of your parent. Sure. I don't know. I wasn't around in 1918, so maybe that was the thing. Interior shot color has kind of leveled out.
Du siehst, wie solche Bauern hier behandelt werden.
Oh, lady, you think it's bad now? Give it about 20 or 30 years. Imagine being a German farmer in the 50s. If she thinks it's bad back then in 1918. Well, there's our muted blues. Damn, those whites washed out. I didn't get a chance to take a really good look. I like the color contrast, the blues and the reds. Or the blues, the blue moonlight and the reddish dress. This film's going to have me color obsessed. Like through the whole film, I feel like.
I don't let anything stand in your way.
Are they deliberately popping the blue eyes?
Alice Follies?
How about a film nobody else has seen?
Bow, chicka, bow, bow. Oh yeah, I forgot this is an A24 film.
Poor now, have you?
If only they would just die.
That's my pearl.
You could even be in pictures like this. I know, I'd watch you.
Oh, that's a great nod to X.
I should go now.
I think they made X first and then Pearl, I think. Yep, that's a psycho. That's a psychopath.
Please, Mama, you have no idea what I'm capable of.
Man, I'm getting Carrie vibes here.
Oh, yes, I do. You want to leave? Go. But when you fail...
Damn.
I want you to remember what it feels like Because that's how I feel every time I look at you.
Wow.
Damn!
Psycho mom and psycho daughter. Oh. This poor guy. Oh crap. Oh, hot water on her. I mean, I guess it's water, but still. This dude's going through it. Dad's really going through it here. Buddy, you are just flirting with trouble.
Let me at least drive you home.
Please don't go.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Oh, those are the magic words.
I wish you the best luck with your audition.
That's it. This man is toast. Toast. There he goes. Damn, Theta's gonna be eating good today. Tasty human.
I'm gonna show them all.
Get in there and knock it out. Knock it out of the park, Pearl. The symmetry in that shot is amazing.
But it's gonna be a no.
People just signing their death warrants left and right around here.
We're looking for something different today. Younger and blonde.
Oh.
Someone with X Factor.
Well, people are just gonna have to die, I guess. Run. No, go the other way. Because after the tears comes the blood and the knife and murder.
Have you told Howard? I've never spoken about it out loud to anyone. So afraid of what people might think.
Mental health stigma in the early 20th century.
Pretend I'm Howard, and you just say whatever's on your mind. Trust me.
Go for it. Scare the hell out of her.
I hate you so much for leaving me here. Sometimes I hope you die.
You asked for it, lady. Bear that soul, girl. Bear that soul. All of that in one take. She marathoned that. That was amazing.
I should probably get going now.
You're not leaving. You're not leaving alive. That's the Pearl I know and love.
Help me!
You are in the middle of nowhere, honey. She's got a taste for it now. I mean, if you're going to get rid of evidence and you have something willing to eat the evidence, it only makes sense to do that. Hey, it's White Phillip again. Wash your hands, young lady.
You will remember to wash your hands before you eat anything.
I would like to know where they got the idea to make this so 50s-esque or make it such a callback to those early color films. I love the way her mind works writing these gory films. The thing I think I like the most about it is that it's not like a supernatural kind of horror or anything like that. It's just a flat-out psychotic, regular person horror. And she's still holding that smile through the credits. That's amazing.
Several days later.
Hey everybody, it's been a few days since we watched we rewatched the film Pearl, and I wanted to provide you with some insights and some thoughts that kind of came to mind as I processed the film over the next few days. I am joined this evening by my fellow film critics Grimlet and Lichlop, and we're going to give you a little breakdown of kind of the things that went through my head thinking about this film after watching it again. Let's first start off with narrative innovation. I feel like this film carries the tradition of character study under gory circumstances. It's positioning itself to be in good company with films like The Shining, Hereditary, and the 2002 film May, If you haven't seen that, it's a great film. It's a must-watch. So I kind of feel like I'm not so much sure about the innovation, but it does carry forward a good tradition of the kind of character study under the horror genre. With regards to environmental dichotomies, and I wrote these notes down so I could kind of remember what I was thinking about. Let me just go ahead and read that out. The classic Hollywood idealized early 20th century portrayal of saccharine, religiously sanitized, early 20th century rural white America with the all too real undercurrents of violence, stunted sexuality, and emotional family dysfunction that went on in those regions, combined with a suffocatingly rigid lifestyle, is deeply prevalent in the entirety of this film. I mean, there was an undertone of all these things happening just throughout the entire flick. It was hard to miss if you had any experience in those kinds of environments, particularly in the mid to late 20th century. I think the film also touched on cultural representation and identity. When we think about Pearl's isolation and her yearning for fame, kind of butting heads with 20th century American womanhood and the expectations set there. I appreciate how the film takes a trapped young woman's desire to make something of herself to extremes during this time period. This had me cheering her on, despite most of the horrific things she did. The senseless murder of Mr. Goose notwithstanding, that was not called for. Completely inappropriate. Moving forward to like the cinematography itself, it's very retro, obviously. I touched on it in the film a little bit. It's a perfect visual representation of the subversion that I mentioned in the film, although not using that language specifically. It's a deliberately desperate, these are the words I kind of figured out, it's a deliberately desperate Disney-esque visual overlaying the horrors going on beneath. A perfect mirror of dysfunctional American traditional life, like I said before. When we think about effects, the choice to focus on practical effects lines up with the overall theme of the film. A very old school film. It provides a throwback visual canvas for storytelling, and again, it's deliberately desperate Disney-esque. That's kind of vibes that you get from the film, or that I got from the film, I should say. Thinking about moral ambiguity and ethical dilemmas, were the actions connected to Pearl's psychological decline? Were they justifiable or were they just monstrous? I consider this to be a beautifully subjective film, as all good art is. When we think about Pearl's psychological decline, conventionally, I'm sure most people would not call anything she did justifiable, but then we have to think about the elements that led her to make the decisions she made, take the actions she took, how the environment contributed to the exacerbations that broke her to the point of killing. Consider where she lived, her relationship with her mother, the underlying and largely unaddressed mental health issues she was dealing with. Were her murderous actions justifiable? I don't think they are. I don't think so. Were they surprising? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The story manipulates our moral alignment with Pearl by showing us her dysfunctional home environment, and then juxtaposing that with the external environments and people who are at the least neutral towards her, like her blonde friend and the guy at the theater who ran the film camera. He's mostly kind, I guess, but overall I'd say he was basically kind to her. When we use these elements, the film skillfully builds ethical dissonance because it removes a simple black and white outlook on the main character. So that was a really good touch by the film, by the screenplay writers, by Mia and Ty. And the film also dives into socio-political commentary. This is Pearl's post-pandemic world. I appreciated the parallels between the 1918 Spanish flu America and how it reflects today's ongoing COVID pandemic. The writers intelligently kept the pandemic as just another environmental stressor and kept it to a minimum exposure to let the rest of the elements, have the amount of attention time it needs to move the story forward. When we think about Pearl, we think about an obsession with stardom. I think Pearl's obsession with stardom, driven to such extremes, is yet another home run when it comes to unhealthy expectations set on women in America, past and present. Much like the film's substance, to me it is another stark rebuke to traditional Hollywood's profit-driven exploitation of women. Sound design and score. As I may have alluded to in the in-film commentary, I really appreciated the inclusion of the desperately wholesome throwback scoring to clash with the gory reality of what was happening to everyone in the film. The use of no music in some parts of the film absolutely appropriate, really underscored what was going on in those moments as well. Cast performances. Let's talk that performance. While I found everyone's performances in the film acceptable, I think the standouts would be Mia Goth and Tandy Wright as her mother. With Mia Goth's performance specifically, it was a smart move for her to have written the part as, like I said during the film, she was able to tailor it exactly the way she had it visualized in her head. With Ty West to help with the director's eye, I think Mia created a memorable, very memorable main character. The film does pretty good world building. She lives in an open world that ironically keeps her trapped. She has fields to walk in, ways to get to town, yet in all that freedom, she can never leave to follow her dream. In her mind, her ailing father and overbearing mother chain her down to her would-be fate in a suffocating rural existence. And these were the elements of the film that really stood out to me. What do you think, Grimlet? Yep, absolutely. Grimlet agrees with me. So let's move on to some trivia for this film, because there are a few cool things that I given information on here by the interwebs. To prepare for the tone of this movie, director co-writer Ty West suggested that Mia Goth watch Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962 film, and The Wizard of Oz. And I think you can see some influences in both the performances and, of course, the cinematography, the choices there. Perhaps the directing too, but I don't know much about directing, so there may have been influences in that as well. Tandy Wright, who plays Pearl's mother, was the intimacy coordinator on X and was offered the role of Ruth as the shoot on the first film was wrapping up. According to Ty West, she learned German for the role in a hurry and became so convincing in her accent that she fooled 2 German members of the crew. I had no idea that Tandy Wright had no experience with German language before that film, and she was very, very convincing. I thought she was a native speaker. Lastly, online, fans of the film often lovingly call it Joker for girls because of how some of the female fans find Pearl relatable, similarly to how some male fans of the 2019 film relate to the titular character of Joker, of course. I had no idea that was a thing, but that's apparently a thing. So that is it for my analysis and commentary, post-film commentary. Stay tuned for the next film, X, that I'm going to be doing in-film and post-film commentary on. Of course, do the following and the subscribing and the liking and stuff like that. If you have anybody in your life who really enjoys the Pearl film and would really appreciate this commentary, then by all means, please feel free to share it with them. Once again, I'm going to be doing X next. So stay tuned for that. That will come out onto my Patreon page first, and then a while later I'll go ahead and send it out to YouTube and possibly Odyssey, as I just found out about that site, and I want to put some stuff up there too. Anyway, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one.